Oh, here we go with this bullshit. Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, baby daddy.
Yeah, what's up?
So, I was thinking, I want our baby to, be advanced in life or whatever. So right now they're doing karate class at the YMCA and it's $300. So I was thinking I go half, you go half, and then our baby gonna be, Cobra Kai up in this bitch.
Child support.
I'm sorry, what?
Child support.
Okay, yeah, you pay a little ass child support, but that goes for clothes, shoes, stuff to support the child. This is an extracurricular activity, so it's extra.
Child support.
You said it's saying child support. Like, do you only know them two words? Child support, support child. That, like, what the fuck? What I'm asking you is for something extra to benefit the kid. You don't have to put the money in my pocket. You can call up there and make a payment. Like,
Yeah, but I remember the two words that I asked for, 50-50. And when we try to get that established, you didn't want that. You wanted sole custody, and the judge granted that. So when it comes to child support, he said that as long as I pay my child support, I ain't obligated to do nothing else. So, child support.
I cannot fucking believe this. Okay, so basically because that's all you have to pay for, that's all you gonna pay for. So if the judge says you only have to pay $20 a month, that's all you would pay. You wouldn't pay 25 or 30.
Here's my suggestion to you. Walmart is always hiring. Fuck out of here. Fuck child support. Man, these bitches got me fucked up, man. Baby mama tell you tomorrow she needs some money. Man, you better go to Walmart. Walmart is always hiring. 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 Wonder holler broke, bitch, you get some child support. Section 8 Obamacare, your ass better sell some dope. I ain't here to save your hope, I'm telling you in the dope. Better save your lean card or a twerking liquor store. Better shake it for Habib, better shake it for Mr. Chan. Better shake it for Tyrone, bitch, I don't give a damn. Matter of fact, only fans go find your ass a stam. Who was shopping suckers? Bitch, I'm not your fucking man. It's not my fault you got 5 baby daddies with 4 fucking kids and no else to fucking live. Not my problem, better get your ass a job. Go to sleep in trailer parks, better go to fucking Walmart. Walmart is always hiring. 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 Walmart is always hiring.
Off the liquor, bet I hit it. Yeah, I'm sipping on some Henny. Going in, aisle 6. Ayy, let me get some Remy. I'ma have my dick in there before it even hit me. If you think I'm about to drop a dime, ho, you know you tripping, folk. Me the pussy free. For your man, you charge a fee. I'ma get up in the guts and you gon' try to have my seeds. And I'ma be a deadbeat. I ain't tell you had that kid. You know I was about to nut, but you kept on riding dick. When it comes to being freaky, bitch, you an all-star, but you always broke. Better holler at Walmart, so you better take direction. Or bitch, take this lesson. Now get up on your knees. I don't wanna hear no questions. Walmart
Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart
Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart
Walmart is always hiring. Walmart is always hiring. Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart
Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart
Walmart is always hiring.
Walmart
Walmart is always hiring. Walmart is always hiring. Walmart is always hiring.
Feel like a sipping flame. I'm sorry, something. We getting nice. We getting nasty, baby, like all we motherfuckers always saying fight and watch it for baby. I just made an F-O-E, I walking in the rain. See the fucking out and I feel like a sipping flame. I'm walking in the rain. See the fucking out and I feel like a sipping flame. Here we go with this bullshit. We getting your fast and go to fight it. Turning into a second ball. Walking in the rain. See the fucking out of line. Feel like a sipping flame. I'm walking in the rain. See the fucking out of line. Feel like a sipping flame. Man, this is all the bullshit, man. I met this bitch on eBay. She knew I ain't had nothing going on. She knew I got outside by my baby mama terrorist. And she said she's gonna look out for me. She got her streets and shit. And I come over there, she got me take care of my little kids. Because they follow my picture. Got me fighting with me. Get put out the house still. Treating me like shit. All because I ain't got shit. Y'all fellas better learn from this. Don't be no silly one like me. Bro, you be shopping suckers. It's sucks like a club. Now I'm out here in the rain. That ass like. I've been walking in the rain. She done put me out and I feel like a sipping flame. Yeah. Welcome, thought. Thought your degrees were your ticket out. Welcome, thought. You're back with the guys you still laugh about. Running around, busting down, get community. We're sick, baby daddies, 5 kids to win. Ooh, we thought to be young. Keisha. So believe it or not, you a thought from the block. Use a thought. 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 I thought your degrees were your ticket out. Use a thought. You're back with the guys you used to laugh about. Playing a role, not a home, saying not a thought. You need to see reality, you was a BMT. Who would thought to be another toothless Keisha? So believe it or not, you a thought from the block. Use a thought. 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 So believe it or not, use a thought. Use a thought. Use a thought. Believe it or not, you should die, you should die. So believe it or not, you will die from the block, you will die. Oh, no. Stop the cat, brag about you having a man, but you know you're lonely. Stop the cat, saying that you got all the gold, but baby you have no money. Stop the cat, saying that your hair on your head is real, but you know it's not. Cat, wearing some of my that you got from the good old pine. Cat, run around saying baby daddy that, but you know it's not. Stop the cat, you don't do to live off the government, that's what you choose. Stop the cat, you fucked up with a good man, you rather be ran through. You know you made a big mistake, leaving him for Section 8. Even though you're living on government daddy, making him your children new happy, claiming you're so strong and independent, just like the baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here. Even though you're living on government daddy, making them your children new happy, claiming you're so strong and independent. You was just like the baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here. Even though you're living on the daddy, making them your children new happy, claiming you're so strong and independent. You was just like the baby mama terrorist women. Fuck out of here. Well, motherfucking well. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Let me know, Cal's Game, y'all can hear me. I want to make sure y'all can hear me before I start yakking this shit. We got to talk about baby mama terrorism. You already know what it is. We got to talk about an outcome. Cal's Gang. Shout out to the Cal's Gang, man. Let me know y'all can hear me and shit. I forgot to add some of this. Loud and clear. All right. Cool. Just wanted to make sure. What I forgot to do is tag Brian McKnight name on this video. We definitely got to talk about this, man. You know, I've been talking about this ever since all this shit came out when this kid said he was a deadbeat. And he didn't want to be a father. We're gonna talk about all that. You know what I'm saying? Let me tag his name up in here. Brian McKnight. Which one is Brian McKnight? You got so many different Brian McKnights. Everybody's up in here. Please hit the like button. And if you can, donate to the channel. You know, I still got errands at Rent Center. I got to pay, so I don't get my shit evicted. You know how that go. Let me see something, McKnight. Did they get rid of his page? Oh, he changed his name on here. It's McKnight Ohana or something. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about this one. Forgive me, Cows guys. Gotta put a couple of things in there. We gotta talk about this bullshit once again. You know, I told y'all when it comes to these baby mama tears, man, and they trying to destroy your character. I told you one thing that you have to do. You have to call that shit out. You know, being quiet is not the way to go. Let them stain your name. Let them say anything they want to say about you. You try to be the bigger person. You ain't trying to put it out there. You don't want no problems. But unfortunately, what it does is put you deeper in the hole. Now, I always told y'all that the majority of our society is not going to side with you, because if a woman say you a deadbeat, then you are a deadbeat. If they say that you are a piece of shit, then you are a piece of shit. Not only that, if your child is manipulated and say you're a deadbeat, then damn it, you are a fucking deadbeat. You can't make this shit up. Shout out to the Cows gang, man. We're gonna talk about this. Let me raise up a little bit. We're gonna talk about this. I was gonna talk about the woman that shot 4 of her kids and killed 2 of them, and the other 2 survived. But she's on social media talking about she got all this money and you know, and she hustle and do all this shit. But when I saw this yesterday, that Brian McKnight was, you know, basically won the defamation of character lawsuit of 8.8 million. I said, I'm gonna talk about it today. I want y'all to understand that being silent don't help you. Sometimes, you know, they say, yeah, be cool, be quiet, don't say nothing. It depends on what it is. But when it comes to being labeled as a deadbeat, you know, and shit like that, you can't let that slide. You have to expose that baby mama terrorist what she is, a baby mama terrorist. And, you know, I talked about Brian McKnight and his situation a long time ago when this first came out, when his kids said that he didn't do nothing and all that shit. And come to find out, we're talking about the 2 boys, and come to find out they was living with him. We're going to go back to the past. We're going to talk about all that shit. We're going to talk about this shit. Because the reality is, it don't matter if he exposed the truth. It don't matter if he called out and showed the proof. Motherfuckers always going to side with the. I want y'all to understand, Cows gang, that they will always side with the baby mama terrorists. Even when they see the truth, they would deflect and say, yeah, but what about this? And yeah, what about that? And I'm going to show you an example when we go on his Instagram page. I follow her on Instagram. That's how I heard about him winning the $8.8 million being awarded, right? Now, truthfully, she didn't show up to court. So, of course, she can appeal it. She can come back and try to, you know, go back to court or whatnot. But all this stemmed from is that punk ass book she came out with. She said that he was abusive and some other shit, and he filed a lawsuit. She didn't show up. Why? Why she didn't show up for the lawsuit? Motherfucker accuse you of lying and defaming characters, and it's a chance you can lose. You need to be there, because I'm not finna sit back and let you sue me, and I know the truth, and I got the truth. So that was mighty odd that she didn't show up. That was mighty odd, but I'm not surprised. When do a baby mama terrorist show up for anything? They don't even show up to school for their children. The only place they show up for on time is to the welfare office or child support court. Hell, don't forget divorce court. They show up in time for divorce court too. Or they show up anywhere that they can get something for free. You can't make this shit up. But they're not going to show up for something like this because, as far as they're concerned, they can't get in no trouble. They got qualified immunity. Shout out to Jordan. Never said ain't no party like a Diddy party. Shout out to him for the $5 donation. He said, take these women to court. Yeah, we definitely gonna take them to court. Yeah, we taking them to court today. Look to you, my brother. Yeah, we taking them to court. My man, Smooth Operator, said, does she even have $8.8 million? Does a baby mama Tez have money at all? You got some that got money, but no, she ain't got no $8.8 million. But I want y'all, we're going to talk about this $8.8 million and where it's going to come from. Hell no, she ain't got $8.8 million. She ain't even got the money from the child support she was getting from him. And I guarantee you, she didn't save shit for the kids. You can't make this shit up. They won't even save the child support for their kids. These baby mama Tears will take that money and spend on themselves, talking about this refund for the money I spent out of my pocket. I thought it was about the kids. Yeah. So yeah, we finna talk about this. I'm gonna go right to his video. We're gonna right to his video of announcing that he, won the $8.8 million and where it came from. Hey man, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Let me find it. And then I want y'all to see the comments. I want y'all to see the comments. And I want you to see to the excuses they want to come with and to deflect it and all this bullshit. They don't like the fact that he actually won the case. I'm gonna talk about this one today. Hold on. Let me get to his page. Let me go to my email because they ain't let me pop up here. Anybody who ain't subscribed to my other channel, Victim of Volunteer, definitely subscribe to the channel. I pinned it to the top. It's close to being monetized. Definitely need y'all support. If you can, donate to the channel. Appreciate y'all for all the support y'all been doing for the years I've been doing this shit. I'm gonna do this. Hold on, let me do this. Hey, let me show y'all this right quick. So now on his page, he posted this must have been yesterday, right? And we'll see. Let me show y'all. He posted on his Instagram. So this is his Instagram page. Brian McKnight. He's smoking a cigar. So I guess he realized he doing his thing and he know he won. So I want y'all to check out and see what he got to say. It's a quick one. But before I do that, it says breaking news. This one he posted 12 hours ago. He said lawsuit won against Julie McKnight. $8.8 million awarded in damages and punitive damages. Brian McKnight versus Jay McKnight, case number. You see that? Thank you to our legal team and Rancher Harris Law. Now, before we get this started, let me make a big picture of this. This is what I'll never understand. Look right here. You see where it says Brian McKnight versus Jay McKnight, which is Julie McKnight. Now, let me ask you, baby mama Tess, a question. If these husbands, ex-husbands, are so bad, evil, abusive, lowlife, deadbeat, pedophile, whatever, why do y'all keep their last names? You can't make this shit up. Why do y'all keep the man's last name? You hate him. You're done with him. He did all these things under the sun. He beat you. Ike Turner fades and everything is under the sun, but you keep his last name.
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you?
The least you can do, if he was that bad of a dude, is get rid of him and go back to your maiden name. Why do y'all continue to keep a man's last name that you hate? Kept the last name, and they've been divorced for a lot of years, and she still kept the last name. See, I want y'all to understand that they want to keep something of that motherfucker. That's why, men, if you ever deal with a woman, she still got her ex-husband's last name, don't take them serious. Now, if you want to use them for recreational uses only, or if y'all just in a sexual relationship, it ain't nothing serious, then go right ahead. But if she keep that man's last name, just understand she ain't over him. Because the motherfucker want to say, well, I kept the last name because my son got his last name, and I don't want my son by himself. He ain't by himself. He got his daddy last name. You don't want to be by yourself to Ms. Wags. Don't fall for it, Cows Gang. Don't fall for it. They say, well, it's too much to get rid of the last name. No, just time and pay the bill and do what you got to do and leave it alone. Don't fall for it. They keep all these fucking names, all these names. But these dudes are so evil and a piece of shit. That's why I say, man, it says a lot. Don't be serious, one of them motherfuckers. So let's go ahead and play what he had to say. Wait. I forgot to unmute it. Let me do this right, because I want y'all to hear from the beginning. This ain't, like I said, it ain't too long. It ain't too long. But he's smoking a cigar. He happy. He is happy. He, and congratulations to him. I hope he get his just due, because he been through a lot, just like a lot of us been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to McKnight. All right, here we go.
It's been a long journey getting to this day, October 16th, 2025, but we are here in the English countryside, about an hour and a half outside of London, and the verdict is in. We've been quiet, listening to liars continue to lie and keeping to ourselves, living and loving our life, as we said, leaving everything in God's hands and letting our lawyer do the talking. But according to the courts, trying to ruin my name and trying to bring harm to my family in a book filled with lies equals $8.8 million. And this is just the beginning, because anyone and everyone that helped promote these lies will hear from my lawyer in the days to come. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. That from my voicemail is the voice of a liar.
Now, he got a voicemail. With the baby mama terrorists, lying and shit. We're going to play that afterwards. I want y'all to check out the comments on some of this shit. I want y'all to see the comments. So, of course, I posted right here, fuck child support. If y'all ain't subscribed to that, it's my third time making it, man. It's FCK Child Support 3. I had regular fuck child support. I had fuck child support 2, and this is 3, man. And I said, good. I'm glad for you, brother. So I want y'all to check this out. I want you to see these comments from these convicts when they don't like that. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Now, mind you, what he just said. He said that he won because of defamation of character. Yeah, true. She didn't show up. So what happened when you don't show up to court? Just like you don't show up child support, because the baby mom terrorists gave them the wrong address to serve you and they gave it to somebody else. Whatever she say you did, you did. She knew about this case. She didn't show up, so he got punitive damages and regular damages. So it equaled up to $8.8 million, right? Let's look at this first comment, at least under mine. This comment right here. This female, of course, says, well, 8.8 million can't bring him back. So what are you celebrating about? If you knew the truth, stand in it and grieve your loss of your seed. See, this is what I want you to understand, Cows Gang. First, before we explain to you.
You fucking income fucking poop.
The lawsuit was not about no one's death. This lawsuit was not about nobody's children. This lawsuit was about an ex-wife who wrote a book about Brian McKnight, allegedly saying he was abusive and all these other things under the sun. And this is what I mean by these baby mama terrorists stick to code. She talking about $8.8 million ain't gonna bring him back. But did you tell his ex-wife that writing a book about Brian McKnight is also not going to bring your son back. You can't make this shit up. See, they ain't going to tell her that, you writing a book about making bring your son back. But since he's saying, hey, I want $8.8 million, now you want to sit back and say, oh, well, that's not going to bring your child back. It ain't about the child. See, she's just mad because he actually won. You know what I'm saying? Basically, how dare you do that to her? So we go to the comments. This dude says, so he wasn't supposed to clear his name. That was being smeared in the public's eye. This person says, not at the expense of making a woman look delusional and bitter. Now, the topic of his son is not the accountability. Let that man celebrate, because the other way around, it will be, that's good for him, or she deserve it. They can't win them all. Case closed. So this, motherfuckers saying, hey, it is what it is. We're waiting to read all the replies for that. I just wanted y'all to see, how these, terrorists are, so quick to talk that shit. Let's go on to the next one. Wait a minute, hold on. Did she start talking about plant? All right, look. So this was her response. We can read our response. This was her response to what them, people were saying. They was like, man, what you don't get? She gonna say, is that what you comprehend from? I will say it again for those in the back. He knew his truth. He stood in it. He won his case. It doesn't return the loss of his son. Nowhere in his celebratory speech did I say son. Bruh. Now, see, here she go. She said she gonna say, did he say son? I miss you. I'm sorry the world outside looking and cause a strain in our relationship. Heavenly Father, thank you for the time I did get to spend with him sometime along the lines. But he's so boastful, understandable. He just neglected the big picture that his son is gone. Again, now she just said we didn't understand and comprehend, but basically that's what she's saying. She's saying that you should be talking about this $8.8 million. You say basically he should have just stand on what he said, that she's lying. He shouldn't be celebrating that she got caught in her lie, making about $8.8 million. Again, let me go ahead and use the soundbite one more again. I told you.
You fucking income fucking poop.
She basically just said the same thing twice. She said the same thing twice. Then I responded to her and said, not about his son, it's about a book of lies. Shake my head. So let me comment right quick and let this idiot know that you just repeated yourself. I don't know how I can get rid of this. Let me see. You just repeated the same thing twice. And that's why I say, man, these baby mama terrorists will say anything to try to deflect from what the truth is and what it's about. Oh, it won't let me post. She must have deleted her shit or blocked it or whatever. But that's okay. Fuck it. They won't let me post it. What up, Yoga? They won't let me post it. We'll get back. Hold on. Let me do this again. This won't let me post it. Won't let me post it. But let's get back to the comments for these convicts. That's what I say, man. A lot of people, they mad because he won. That's basically what they saying. Like, you shouldn't have won, and it ain't about the key. This ain't gonna do with your son died. So check this out. So this person say, huh? Man, this ain't for the world to see. Your son died of cancer at a very young age. Families go through things, but death is final, and ain't nothing to play with. Let that young, I guess he meant to say young kid, rest in peace. See, and that's, here we go now. This is a dude right here. This one of these simping forces. This ain't got nothing to do with the son.
You fucking income fucking poop.
This ain't got nothing to do with the son at all. Couch Gang, I'm going to tell y'all again. The lawsuit was because of a book that his ex-wife wrote, who won't get rid of her, the last name that he gave her. But for defamation of character, saying he was abusive and some other things. And everybody's talking about his son that died. Let's go to the next. Now, we'll skip hers. This woman, of course, a lot of these women, this woman says, well, his son is gone, nothing to celebrate. Nothing to celebrate. His son is gone.
You fucking income fucking poop.
But when his ex-wife was performing shows, talking about Brian McKnight, writing books and shit, it was okay to celebrate that. Now, all of a sudden, you shouldn't be celebrating about the son. It's about the son. This person said no one wins when the family feuds. What family? His family over there. This one said love and money will eventually fade. A child can never be replaced. And this one says still doesn't negate the fact. This one said you will still never have a public support you once did. We see the real you and it's sickening. You posted on this on your deceased. So they saying now, I did hear they said that he posted this on his deceased son's birthday too. Boast now, but you're going to reap what you sow or what you sow. I don't know. So some people in here were saying that he posted on his son's birthday, the one that died. So what was he supposed to do? Skip a day and post the day after or the day before? He ain't supposed to talk about. So when somebody passed away, you're not supposed to talk about anything because of the person's birthday? Shout out to Jermaine Faulkner. Man, how you been, my brother? It's been a minute. Shout out to Jermaine Faulkner for the $5 donation. He says they saying he's not a real man for taking action against lies. They blaming him saying a real man would never take money from a woman. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Jermaine Faulkner.
Yeah.
It's always Jermaine Faulkner.
Yeah, Jermaine's fault. You're right. It's good to see you, my brother. It's no different from Offset trying to get half of her alimony, half of her assets because he qualifies for it. He's wrong. He's a bitch. He's a lame. He's no good. He's broke. He's a deadbeat. And because he beat her in court, he's the same thing. And now they want to use the son's death as a way to try to shame him. You think he give a fuck about that shit? So they said he said this on his son's birthday. I don't know, but even if he did do it, is he supposed to skip a day? And this person right here says he think he escaped the image he didn't want on him. Too bad, it's up, it's stuck, and you fucking suck. See, this is the prime example, Couch Gang, when I say keep your veins on ice cold, because the majority of society side with you, they don't give a fuck if you is telling the truth. They don't give a fuck if the bitch lied. All they do is want to destroy you. They don't give a damn about you because you're a man. The man is always the scapegoat of fuckery and bullshit. They see shit, piece of shit, but you the scapegoat. That's why I'm not mad at him that he's living his life. He's enjoying his life. He's still getting shows. Yeah, he went through bullshit and turmoil, but he's still living a good life. He ain't working at Walmart. So why everybody's saying that, oh, your image, you can't escape the image, you think he give a fuck? He don't give a fuck. He's living. And he's calling shit out.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
He don't. And neither should y'all. This dude said start suing these platforms. Look, the fact that your son's heavenly birthday makes the post even more sad. Praying for you all. Yep. This was said, oh, they tagged the shade room. Like, what the shade room gonna do? This person said, this isn't an airport. You don't have announced your departure. It's all in the news. It's on TMZ and everything. So this was said, posting this on your deceased son's birthday is low and sick. This one says, why is it only women in this chat mad at this brother? In the great words of Robert Kelly, you don't want to believe it. This person says, from who? Who paying that? That's gonna say these motherfuckers dumb. This brother said, God is good, brother. Congratulations. This one says, I'm disappointed with the vertical of the heel click jump. I want y'all to see this. So this one says, so you didn't disown your kids? So I say, man, yeah. First of all, we already know about this. He washed his hands with his grown ass kids, and they kept talking about him and staining his name. We're gonna go back to the past because people forget about the past. We're gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna talk about that. Public humiliation and slander deserve public address. That's what I thought. Now this person said, "No, I ain't gonna read all. It's too damn long. Fuck you." Basically, the person saying that he had a right to call him out. He basically got the right to call him out. You know what I'm saying? Now check this out. This brother says, okay, I admit, I gave into what the media made me believe due to me fighting so hard to be in my daughter's life. I apologize for my part in not hearing your side of it all. We all were made to think you never tried to reach out or have some communication with your son. I hope my apology is accepted for being transparent. See, I want you to understand, I respect this brother. And it's a man. Of course, it's a man. It's not a female saying this shit. It's not a woman that's apologized. Say, you know what? I believe the media said I was wrong. This is a man saying it. And that's what men do when they're wrong. They apologize. They admit their faults. A baby mama Tez don't mean a damn thing. A baby mama Tez would never take accountability for their action. Shout out to this man. Shout out to this man. This is why, Cows Gang, I told y'all, when I hear about a woman saying, hey, this dude is this dude is that, he did this, I need to see proof. If I see proof, then I'll be like, yeah, this motherfucker piece of shit, woo, wop, bam. But you just running your mouth saying that shit, I don't believe shit you say. Because these motherfuckers be lying, these motherfuckers be make-believe, and it's unfortunate that even when the truth is in their face, they still side with the terrorists. Still side with the terrorists. Now they got, selective memory and all this goof ass shit. So we're gonna leave it at that because this man apologized. He said he said he felt the emotion he felt for because he fought hard for his daughter, and he felt that, well, you didn't fight for yours. Okay, shout out to him. Like, hey, see, most men will apologize and admit their faults. Let's go to Brian McKnight when it comes to him trying to be there for his son. When Brian McKnight's son was sick with cancer, he put him in the better hospital and everything. The mama said, I don't want you to contact him, leave him alone, basically get the fuck on, we don't need you. The same baby mama Ted's rhetoric. We all heard that, it went through that shit. And he said, fuck it, and washed his hands. Let's see if I can find it. I know I got it. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. But we got to call this out, man. Yeah, that's what we want to talk about. He talked about on the dead son's birthday. They really talking about that. I think this is here we go. Let me I think this ain't the one. This is the one where I think he disowned him. Let me see. We're gonna play it anyway because we need to talk about that. Shout out to Solo Dolo, man, for the $5 donation. He said, keep fighting and winning, black man. Keep fighting and winning, black man. Shout out. Yeah, shout. And let me explain some of y'all. The reason why I'm talking about Brian McKnight, because I talked about this from beginning all the way to now, right? The reason why I'm talking about this, because I want y'all to understand, Cows Gang, a man is a man, whether if he got money, whether if he's the average Joe, whether if he's broke. Every man is treated the same when dealing with a baby mama terrorist. Every man is the same when dealing with a manipulated ass kid. A man is the same when they dealing with family court. If this could happen to this man who's worth some millions, then it could happen to any one of us. You know what I'm saying? These bitches, your own mama will believe the baby mama tears over you. Tell me if I'm lying. Now, if my mother was around, she wouldn't believe that shit because she know how I am. My father definitely wouldn't believe that shit. But I want y'all to understand, you have your own mama to go against you. And most times because she was a baby mama test as well. Then you realize that your daddy wasn't the piece of shit that she said that he really was because she did the same shit to him. Understand that shit. Understand that shit, Cows Gang. Motherfucker lie, manipulate you, and you don't find out what the truth is until you go through the bullshit. Until you go through that motherfucking shit. Let me show this. I gotta take this one off, okay? And I'll show you this one. All right, check it out.
Brian McKnight here.
Hold on, man. Shit.
Brian McKnight here. There's been a lot of discussion online lately about Brian McKnight here.
No, this ain't the one. You got somebody talking. Let me see. Hold on. Let me we don't need anybody else talking. Let's use that. Matter of fact, what I see right here, we finna go to the past. We finna go to the past right quick, and we'll go up to about the sun. Check this out. So remember the ones that been around me when I was doing this. Y'all remember when his kids called him out? Grown kids now. I want y'all to see this because people get amnesia about he didn't want to be a father, and she wrote that in the book. He abandoned his kids. He didn't want to be a father and all this bullshit. I want y'all to see this shit. I want y'all to see this shit. And we're going to lead up to where it is today. His daughter that he had from his side bitch got knocked up. And he even admitted that was based off getting some money and get paid. That's what it was based off of. He admitted that, he cheated on his wife. I think he cheated on his wife at that time. And it went from there. So check it out. Here we go. Because this all started, what year does this all start? This came out like around 6 years ago. This came out 6 years. It's been that long? 6 years ago? Damn. I've been on this shit for like 6 years. So this one, his daughter, the son came out posting on social media. This had all started. And people was mad at him because he responded and called out the truth. So check this out.
Hey guys, it's Brian McKnight here. I've been traveling about 17 hours to Guam. I have a concert tonight, and I got off the plane to some of the most heinous craziness I've ever seen in my life. That my oldest son, Brian, would post that I'm abandoning my children. And the reason why, I suppose, is because I have a new family, and I guess this stems from a post that I made the other day about my son, Jack, who I'm very proud of, which isn't to say I'm not and haven't been proud of my other children, but I was proud of this one for the things that he did that day. But we'll get back to that in a second. Anyone who knows me knows over the last 20 years, 30 years now, as a matter of fact, that I've been there for my children every step of the way until recently. And let's be clear, my two sons are 30 and 27, not 12, not 13, but 30 and 27. Now, my daughter's about to turn 18. That's another story I'll get to in a second. I've never missed a day of child support. I've never done anything adverse to my children whatsoever. I've always been there. I've always been there with advice, whether they took it or not. I've always been the sounding board, and I've always been the one that tried to help them achieve whatever dreams they were wanting to reach out for. I guess one of my only faults is that I gave my children everything that I didn't have in the hopes that they would appreciate it, because I know how much I would have appreciated it when I was their age. Um, I would tell you, as parents out there, entitling your children is probably one of the worst things you can do, and I know I am guilty of that. For whatever reasons, I'm guilty of that. Tough love is a tough thing as a parent to try to institute to your children, because you want to help them as much as you can, and I did as much as I possibly could. When I stopped doing that for them, BJ was 25 and Nico was 22. And it wasn't like I completely cut them off at that point. That happened much later. But I've been there. When I put them out of my house, I gave them an apartment for 2 years. And I said, guys, this is it. This is the time to grow up. I'm giving you 2 years. I'm going to pay for everything for 2 years, but you're going to have to work or do something, because at the end of those 2 years, that's going to be it. It's time to be men here, guys.
So I'm going to pause it there. I want y'all to understand that when this came out, when they said that, hey, man, he ain't do nothing, he don't take care of us, those two boys was grown, 30 years old and 27 years old, right? And y'all heard him say that they lived with him. You also heard him say that, you know, he paid his child support, he was there, and they was mad because he posted something about his stepson. He was proud of him. I think his stepson ain't Jack, and they felt some type of way. Now, what we finna get to, he's gonna talk about them living with in his house, him and they stepmom, and gave them 2 years to get their stuff in order because they need to go ahead and work. They didn't want to work. They felt entitled. You owe it to me. And it's his fault, because he admitted that he was giving them everything because he felt that was cool to do. He felt that, hey, you deserve it. I figure you appreciate it. See, you can't spoil your kids like this, not in this day and age, because they think they're entitled. They think they ain't got to earn, they got to work for it. Especially our boys, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to make them all comfortable and shit. Girls either, but I'm just saying. So I'm going to go ahead and play it where he basically say they didn't want to do nothing. This is where all this shit stems from, guys. This is what I'm going. See, people want to say, forget about the past. But in life, we can't do nothing but talk about the past. That's why we talk about history. And when you talk about history, you get a better understanding of what's going on today and possibly change your mindset for the future. So check this out.
It's time to grow up. At the end of those 2 years, they hadn't done any of it. It was just right around the time that Leilani and I had gotten together. Leilani was working at Children's Hospital. And let's be clear, Leilani has been one of the only people who's been an advocate to keeping us together, to keeping us having a relationship, because she wants to have the nuclear family as much as I did. And they have spit in her face at every turn. She got them jobs at the hospital, $18 an hour with benefits, and with the option of the hospital actually paying for them to go back to school. They said, and I quote, that they knew they didn't want to stop smoking and they would have to pass a drug test. And the day I had the doctors looking into it, Miko's on there, you know, taking a big puff, which is fine. If you want to smoke, that's fine. I'm not saying that that's bad. If that's your choice, that's your choice. But what I'm telling you is that we have been advocates for them every step of the way. Now let's go to the part where we have been estranged again.
So I want you to understand that the wife, who I think she's a nurse anesthesiologist, I believe, and she tried to give them jobs. They said, we don't want to stop smoking weed. We're not going to stop smoking weed. The day to do the drug test, he's puffing on the blunt. And what he says is his wife tried to keep the bond together and keep the nuclear family. Now you heard it. Let's continue. So they want to keep smoking, and they didn't take heed of what he said. You got 2 years to hold your own, because I can't continue to do this. You got to be men. He'll pay their rent for 2 years in their new place, but after that, you're on your own. Now, when he stopped paying, why didn't the baby mama terrorist continue with the rent? You can't make this shit up. Yeah. And why were they living with you anyway if you were so much of a piece of shit?
We talk about abandonment. I'm not abandoning them. We are estranged, which happens more often than not in this particular situation. BJ broke into our home a few months ago and he put X's on the eyes of our wedding photos. And then he put a photo of my first wedding on Leilani's vanity. It was at that moment, and after I heard him say, and was pointed to from other friends of mine that saw his posts on social media, that he basically said that I was better off dead to him than alive. I was more valuable to him dead than alive. And that was the end of me dealing with him.
Now, I want you to hear what he said one more time. This is his son saying this. This ain't his stepson. This is his son saying this. This is his son breaking in the house and putting X's on his current wedding pictures and putting the old wedding picture with his mama, for the stepmama to see it. Let's hear that one more time, y'all. This is BJ. That's Brian McKnight Jr. BJ is Brian McKnight Jr., the oldest. 30 years old at this time.
More often than not in this particular situation. BJ broke into our home a few months ago and he put X's on the eyes of our wedding photos. And then he put a photo of my first wedding on Leilani's vanity. It was at that moment, and after I heard him say, and was pointed to from other friends of mine that saw his posts on social media, that he basically said that I was better off dead to him than alive. I was more valuable to him dead than alive. And that was the end of me dealing with him.
Now, let me ask y'all a question, Couch Gang. Is he wrong for cutting off his 30-year-old son for breaking in his house for one, and then putting X's on his new wife, and then putting his ex-wife, his mama picture with him and his dad out there for a stepmom to see it? Was he wrong for cutting him off? And also saying that he's Brian McKnight, his own father, is worth more dead than alive. You're right, because if he passed away, he got insurance, he's more valuable, and there's more money that these low-life ass kids, bitch-ass kids can get. Because they heirs, unless he got his will written up real tight. Is he wrong for cutting off grown kids? These are not little kids. But understand, Couch Gang, when you cut these low-life, miserable-ass, manipulated-ass kids off, you wrong regardless, because they your seeds and you had them and all that shit, even though they wish you did. You cannot make this shit up. Let's continue. Let's continue.
If you look at my Instagram, you'll see that not my last video, but the video before that, 42, the song was written by Brian and I, and it was directed, the video, by Nico. And I went on and I said how proud I was of Nico at the time, and I really, really was. He did an awesome job in that video. Even before that, less than 2 years ago, these are the two gentlemen who stood up for me as my best man in my wedding.
Did y'all hear those things? They was producing and doing videos for his music. They helped write, they helped produce, and Nico filmed the motherfucker. They was working together on his music, going on tours with him. And also, both of them was the best men at his wedding. If they really had an issue with the stepmom and all that other shit, then why would you be the groomsmen? Why would y'all be the best men at your father's wedding if you had a problem with him getting married to her in the first place? You can't make this shit up. So it sounded like it was some manipulation going on, even on some grown-ass kids, but let's continue.
So abandonment, deadbeat dad, I'll reiterate, I've never missed a day of child support. I've been there every step of the way. BJ, he talks about Jack's new car. BJ had 3 brand new cars before he was 22. But I'm not talking about material things, because none of this has anything to do with money. It's about...
You heard that? He said Jack got him a new car. That's a stepson. But he just said Jack had 3 new cars before he was 22 years old. Do that sound like a deadbeat dad? Or a son that felt like he's entitled to get what he deserves? Let's continue. I just want y'all to hear this key things, man, what he's saying.
Respect. Respect goes both ways. And even in family, there's a line that shouldn't and should not ever be crossed. It's crazy to me that people will just believe anything. And I thought it was important to set the record straight and let you guys know that abandonment has nothing to do with any of this. Deadbeat dad, I've been there. every step of the way. And let's also remember that these kids are 30 and 27, not 12. It's time for grown men to be grown men. And I'm sorry that tough love happens to be this way. And I do wish them the best. I want them to have and to reach their dreams and their full potential. But like any other man in the world, you got to go out there and you got to take it. As far as my daughter is concerned, her mother, if you look back at my Instagram, she was a part of this family too, with Jack and Julie and Leilani and myself. And unfortunately, along the way, a couple years ago, I got wind that there was an older cousin who was above 18 who was quite possibly having sex with her. So I called, as a father should, to the state office for children's affairs there in Arizona, and I never heard anything back. But the next thing that her mother did was to block all of us from her social media, from her phone, and completely estranged her from us. So what that told me was they didn't want me to be involved in her life that way. So to see the post that she said, considering that her mother only had a child with me for money in the first place, and I'll reiterate this, I have not missed a child support payment. She goes to one of the most incredible private schools in Arizona. So I don't know where this is all coming from, but I thought that I needed to let everybody know that there's another side to this story.
So I want you to understand that he got wind that, his daughter was allegedly getting sexed on by overage cousin. So he called DCFS, and because he called, the baby mama tears cut all ties. So, but he's wrong. And he said basically, hey, they blocked everything. They cut me off. So evidently he didn't want to be there. So he said, fuck it. Plus, he admitted that she had her for a dollar amount to get paid child support. She had the kid for the wrong reason.
You can choose to believe what you want. I thought that I would lay it out there for you. Anything that I say is actual and factual. All you have to do is Google Brian McKnight and Sons, and you'll see us singing all over YouTube. Go back and look at my Instagram. Go back a couple of years. You'll see that I've posted about all of my children. But remember that these kids, these boys, they're grown men, and tough love is exactly what it is. It's tough love. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening, and I hope that gives you a little bit more perspective.
So you heard it from Brian McKnight. That's when all this shit started 6 years ago. Grown motherfuckers. We talking about the two boys. Grown. 30 and 27, not 15 and 13, 15 and 12. Hell, not even 17 and 14. They lived with him, bought him cars, had him on tour with him. They producing his music, writing songs, filming the videos. And they was best men at his wedding. See, I realized these baby mama tell how much you want to bet the baby mama tells was in their ear, like, see, he over there living their life and ain't giving a fuck about you. He over there giving his stepson a new car and he ain't got you shit. What the fuck? So let me show y'all another video. Now, this was in the past. Now, this is the one where he finally said, hey, I'm washing my hands. This one, he took them all out the wheel. And this one, I think when he told his oldest son to get rid of my last name, since you don't want to, you want to say being a McKnight is a bad thing. See, since everybody want to forget about what happened in the past, yeah, well, let me remind y'all. But the reality is, bro, the majority ain't gonna side with it anyway. You just saw the comments where they were saying, well, that don't change the son's death. But you didn't say it to the ex-wife that wrote a book of lies. And like you said, I didn't abandon my family. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, Brian McKnight speaks. Expose. I'm trying to find the one where we can just hear him because you got these simple forces that's trying to, you know, how they 2 cents in and shit. I cannot find one I can use. Wait a minute, this it? Yeah, here we go. This is from his page. This is from his Brian McKnight page. Here we go. I found
I'm
it.
being told this.
Here we go. Because I don't use nobody else shit because they all going against him. So here we go. Let me get rid of this commercial. And this came out 2 years ago. And this again with this abandonment and then that's when he went on and said, hey man, I'm washing my hands. He completely cut his kids off and told his son to get rid of the name McKnight. So here we go.
Brian McKnight here. There's been a lot of discussion online lately about how I talk about my family on social media. Typically, I prefer not to give attention to the internet trolls, but now my family is being harassed online and accosted in public, apparently because some people can't handle seeing my happily ever after. Coming after me is one thing, but the moment you come after my wife and our children, it's another story, because even more important to me than defending my name is defending and protecting them. I want to address some of these recent discussions. There is a very simple reason why I post about some of my children on social media and not others. The children that I do not currently have relationships with, I don't post about them. Instead, I post about the children with whom I do have relationships, with whom I am proud of, and about whom I want to share my pride in their accomplishments. I don't live in the past. I live in the present and the future. I am so proud of the man I am today, the husband I am to my wife Leilani, and the father I am to our children. I'm so proud of our love, our family, our life. So I will, without apology, continue to shout about it as loud as I can. If you can't help or handle seeing happiness and love, then I respectfully ask you, why are you even on my page? Maybe you should ask yourself that too. Another thing a lot of people have been talking about is the lawsuit my adult daughter Brianna brought against me a few years ago. There's been a lot of misinformation about the case and a lot of people who don't know what happened acting like they do. I think it is important to clear up some of that misinformation. In 2020, my biological daughter Brianna sued me for defamation and breach of contract. I posted a page from the lawsuit here and the file number down below so you can look this up for yourself. And you will see that she did not ask for an apology or even ask that I remove the alleged false statement from the internet. All she asked for and all she wanted was money. The case was dismissed before there was any decision whether my statement about her was defamatory. We settled the case earlier this year, and I agreed to pay Brianna some money, but here's the interesting part. She sued me for defamation and breach of $1 million life insurance policy, and I agreed to pay her $318,000 with no admission of any wrongdoing whatsoever. You heard that right. She dismissed $1 million case in exchange for payment of $318,000 with no admission that I did anything wrong and no requirement that I retract my statement or remove it from the internet. If someone said that I did something I didn't do and I won a case proving that I didn't, I demand a public apology. I demand an acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and I demand a retraction of statements. The face value of that life insurance policy was $300,000 with $18,000 worth of interest. I did not defame her. I made no false statements. I made up no stories. You can do what you will with that information in deciding who you think won the case. I know that some people on the internet would rather not know the truth about what happened, but for those of you with an open mind who are more interested in facts than rumors, I hope this helps explain what really happened in that case.
So I want y'all to understand that the daughter, when he came out 6 years ago saying, excuse me, saying that, defamation of character, when he's talking about the older cousin, she filed a lawsuit, said defamation of character. And and like he said, if you sue him for $1 million and you know for a fact that he's lying, then you're not going to settle for no $300,000. And what ended up happening was she sued him out the life insurance policy that he had for her. He didn't pay out of his money. The life insurance that he had to have was $1 million policy, y'all. So if he passed away, she would get $1 million. But what she did was take the value out of the life insurance. So she couldn't wait for him to die. She took $318,000 out of that life insurance policy. So now if he passed away, she got her money, $318,000. And like he said, he didn't have to do a public apology. He didn't have to take nothing down. It was all about the money. Do y'all understand what he's saying? Or do you understand what I'm saying? If it was guaranteed that you got this motherfucker for defamation of character, I want $1 million. I don't want to settle for $300,000. And if I'm going to settle for at least half of what I want, especially if I got you by the balls. So evidently, like he said, it was about the money. It wasn't about her being shamed of having sex with an older cousin or her name being stained. It was about getting a dollar amount. So like he said, the ones who got a brain and about understanding what's right, you understand is it was about the money that she can get. And I guess she said she get his life insurance now while he's alive instead of waiting for him to die. Man, you can't make this shit up. You chose $300,000 over over $1 million for a so-called win-win case. Yeah.
You fucking income fucking poop.
Yeah, it is cold. But let's continue.
Finally, I want to address the abandonment issue for the last time. Those kids and I have had a long history of conflicts, mutual estrangements, and resolutions. But there was a time when we were truly a successfully blended family. Julia, Jack, BJ, Nico, and Brianna. Our home was filled with love and acceptance, so much so that the kids were all calling each other siblings, contrary to the picture that's been painted online. Christmases, birthdays, Thanksgivings, Friendsgivings, all spent together, even standing up for me as my best man in our wedding, along with their brother Jack, which I posted a pic of here. Shortly thereafter, the same conflict over money arose again. We parted ways, and the next thing I knew, there were 2 posts from Brian and Brianna in 2019 telling the world a completely different narrative for the reason why. I never abandoned anyone. Our estrangement was mutual, but those posts made any roads towards reconciliation and acknowledging them a dead issue. And I changed my will the next day.
So I want you to understand that this is 2 years ago. I want you to understand, Cows Gang. They were still talking about abandonment and they do shit. And basically he said, I'm tired of the bullshit. And they was estranged, not abandonment. Plus they grown now. They all grown, all 3 of them. And so he just said, fuck it, changed his will. So basically he had them still in the will despite all the bullshit they were saying until a couple of years ago. And, he decided to wash his hands all the way. I want y'all, hear that part again. See, and he said, did y'all hear him say that everybody's a family, including his ex-wife? He said Julie's his ex-wife. He said they all was going to each other. I guess they would come over there for Thanksgiving and thanks friends getting dinner or some shit. Friends dinners and Thanksgivings and stuff like that. He said they all was together as a family. What changed that? I wonder. I know the answer, but I wonder.
Towards reconciliation and acknowledging them a dead issue. And I changed my will the next day. I've spent the last 30 plus years building a recognized, respectable name, and ironically, there are still people out there who are trying to smear my name while still carrying it, hoping to use it for their own benefit. I make absolutely no apologies for naming my infant son Brian. I want him and the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy. So I'll be over here.
Hey, look at that gangster smile when he said that. Because I remember that. Because he told his son, his oldest son, to change your name since you got a problem with Benny McKnight and you Shane. And that's when he had a son. And he changed his name. He changed his name so he wouldn't be related to Brian McKnight Jr. You can't make this shit up. Look at the gangster smile on his face when he said that shit.
And the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy.
Hey, man. Hey, Brian McKnight, man. With the shit. One more time, man. He say shit. He's my legacy.
And acknowledging them a dead issue. And I changed my will the next day. I've spent the last 30 plus years building a recognized, respectable name, and ironically, there are still people out there who are trying to smear my name while still carrying it, hoping to use it for their own benefit. I make absolutely no apologies for naming my infant son Brian. I want him and the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy. So I'll be over here, continuing to love and protect my wife and our children as we continue to love our life.
Monday.com.
He said, I'm gonna continue to live my life over here. Fuck y'all, basically. Now, mind you, these are grown people. These ain't kids. These ain't kids. These are not kids. But let me find the other video. Let me find the other video where he let me find the video where he talk about when he wasn't allowed to help Nico. Let me see if I'm trying to find the ones. Let me go on Google right quick because I don't want to use nobody else's shit because they going against them. They ain't about what's right. They ain't about the truth. So I want to hear from just him. I might have to use the one on YouTube. I might have to use it, man. I can't find it by itself. All right, well. Wait a minute, I know what I can use. Brian McKnight called. I remember he called him. Okay. I'm about to use this dude's shit. All right. Here go this other one when he basically said that they're a product of sin. All right, here we go.
Talking sideways about his biological children, the same children he basically has publicly disowned.
And that's what I'm talking about. See, I told you these dudes, these sucker simps, these rainbow mafias, they, he disowned his children, even though, again, these were grown ass kids that didn't want to be bothered. They wanted to stain his name, so he washed his hand. But he wrong. One more time.
You fucking income fucking poop.
Another one. Here we go.
So lastly this week, I want to big up my man right here. See, he gets it. In order to live a life that you love, you have to get rid of the evil and the negativity, even if that evil and negativity is related. We want everyone to live a life that you love. Our hashtag, that's what it means. Hashtag I love our life. But in order to do that, you have to get rid of all that evil and negativity. There's so many angry and upset and negative people out there. We want to use our platform as a place of positivity, a positivity platform. So hopefully, who knows, next week, maybe I'll only respond to positive comments. But we'll see. We'll see next week.
The singer Brian McKnight.
So fuck what he talking about. But basically he said he had to get through evil and negativity. And even if they related to you, I've been saying that motherfucker mean you no good, you cut their ass off. Your mama, your daddy, your son, your daughter, your baby mama Tess, your wife, whoever the fuck, you cut them off. Your friends that you've been knowing for 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? And you always got these type of motherfuckers that be sitting back trying to, stain a man's name because they want to be women. You will never be a woman, dog. I'm trying to find the one where he said he wasn't allowed. Because we getting closer to current, Look like Coach talked about it too. Shout out to Coach. Where is it? Let me see. I'm about to try to find an article. If I find an article, I know I can find. But that's when he said that he had him in the hospital to see with doctors and stuff. It's just a video. It's an article, but it don't have the video. All right, I'm gonna go to the article because I cannot find. Let me see. Hold on. Let me try it one more time before I give up. Let me see. I want to show y'all the video, and y'all seen this in the past. Let me see. Everybody hit definitely if you can't hit the like button. And if you can't start. If you can't donate to the channel, try and see how long. Let me see. Let me see till she played a video of Brian McKnight. Look like she just talking about it. She ain't playing it. All right, no, I don't see it. So let me show y'all the article, man. And I will say it's unfortunate that they lost their son. It is unfortunate. But the reality is they didn't fuck with him. He didn't fuck with them. So this came out in 2024 last year. And I want you to see this what he posted. It was a video because y'all see it. If y'all go to my older videos, you will see it. Brian McKnight called out his wife and claimed that his ex-wife forced him to stop helping his estranged son's cancer treatment. And Julie says, now I want y'all to see this next to it. Say, Julie says her ex-husband is a liar and considers this admission to be false narrative. Well, then if that's the case, ma'am, why didn't you sue him for defamation of character? Why didn't you sue him for lying on you? If that's the case. But we're gonna get back to her saying that she didn't do that. That's a lie, right? So we're going to get to that after we read this article. So his son was in the hospital dying, right? So Brian McKnight is denying the widespread speculation that he's a deadbeat father and faults his ex-wife Julie for intervening when it came to their son Nico's health issues, right? During the singer's weekly Instagram question and answer, he spoke on how his wife Leilani jumped into action after discovering that Nico was battling cancer. So wait a minute, let me see if this is gonna pop up his yes, I got it. We ain't gotta read it. I clicked on it. I got it, Cows Gang. Good. We ain't gotta read the shit. Yeah, here we go. I want y'all to hear from the horse's mouth. Here we go. And it's on his page. Here we go. Hold up. Sound.
We are still here in London, riding high after the concerts this weekend with Boyz II Men, and we are so grateful for all of the love. I wanted to take a few moments to talk about something that I'd already addressed 6 months ago, but I hesitate to talk about it now because the subject matter is so sensitive and so serious that I don't believe it's for public consumption. But because people keep asking me about it, I feel a need to address this once again. 6 months ago, when we found out about this, we called him, we talked to him, we talked to his wife. She told us that she was all alone and handling everything all by herself. And it became quickly evident to us that since they didn't have insurance and they didn't have access to the proper doctors, naturally, and even though all this nonsense has been going on for years, we jumped into action.
Now, you heard what he said. He said that his son did not have medical insurance. Now, Nico is grown. He didn't have medical insurance. Now, his wife said they was doing this by themselves. She was all alone. Where was his mom? Ain't nobody talking about that. Where was his mama? Where was his mama with all this? She said, the wife said she's doing this all alone. She didn't say it's just me and my mother-in-law. She said she is doing this all alone, just her and Nico. Let me let Dizel speak on behalf of Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Now, you know, if you ain't got no insurance, you ain't got no opportunity to get better because they're going to give you the shittiest shit. They're going to say, we need cash, we need money. You know what I'm saying? Huh. Mom ain't help. Well, he got to get his own insurance. He grown. But she said she was on her own. But let's continue.
We asked for his medical reports. We received those medical reports. We hand delivered them to the best specialists in the country. Those specialists outlined a plan of action that would give him the best fighting chance. We miraculously found a treatment facility near our home that put him at the top of the list, and then we put down a deposit to secure that place. We were arranging to fly the two of them to our home privately so that she could be with him and not have to work and really just focus on his treatment. And in the midst of that, we received a very hostile phone call from his mother saying, "Do not contact him. He does not need your help." And I can only imagine that if that help came from me, that it would go against the strong narrative that's being pushed out there about me. So what are we doing? We're adhering to her wishes because that's what she wanted, and we're staying out of it.
Now, this, I'm not going to lie to y'all, Cows Gang. This, I disagree with Brian McKnight. What I would have did, because Nico was a grown-ass man, I would have asked him and I would have talked to his wife. Hey, Nico, your mama is telling me to stop contacting you, leave. Y'all don't need my help, even though your wife reached out to me. Do you want me to help you or not? Now, once the son would have said, nah, I'm good, fuck you, then I'd have went on about my business. I wouldn't give a fuck about what that bitch said. That's the only thing I disagree with Brian McKnight about everything out here. Washing your hands, I'm with it. Cutting their ass off, I'm for it. Fuck them. Change your name and have another kid, give him the junior, I'm for it. But the son is grown, and this bitch calling out of left field to my, oh, we don't need your help bullshit, even though she wanted to help him out at the time because the wife just said that she doing it by herself. I would have talked to Nico first and let him tell me, hey, man, nah, I'm cool. Yeah, mama said it. Yeah, fuck it. I don't want your help. That's the only thing I disagree with him. I do understand, but I disagree only because Nico was grown. If Nico was underage and she said that shit, then I got it because ain't nothing you can do about it. He was grown. He should have asked him, hey, man, your mama said woo wop the bam. What do you want me to do? Now that's the only thing out of all this I disagree. But she said it, and you know what that means? If this true what she said, that she said this, she did not give a fuck about her son. She'd rather for him to die. I'm sure she had a life insurance policy, and I'm sure she made it rain like a motherfucker. Baby mama tears at best.
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you?
But he's the bad guy. But let's continue. I just want to say that's the only thing I disagree with about. That's the only thing.
And we're doing the only thing we can do, which is pray for him, which I hope you do too. Thanks.
So this came out last year. This was in 2024. He tried to help, and the baby mama Ted's intervened in that. Best doctors, better opportunity survival. And she told him, leave it, go on about your business. And now, let's go back to this Instagram page. Let's go back to what we heard earlier when he wanted the $8.8 million. Because I didn't play the whole video. I played enough to understand that he won. I'm going to play it again, but I'm also going to let you hear the voicemail that was left on his phone from the baby mama terrorist. See? And I want you to understand, Cows Gang, what he said in that video you just heard sounds accurate with the message he put on his phone. Check this shit out. Let me go right back to the $8.8 million. With that video, you're going to hear the voicemail coming from that baby mama Terry's ex-wife of his, who still got his last name. Now, I got to play the whole thing because, you can't rewind it on Instagram, but I'm going to let you see and hear her voicemail.
In the English countryside, about an hour and a half outside of London, and the verdict is in. We've been quiet, listening to liars continue to lie and keeping to ourselves, living and loving our life, as we said, leaving everything in God's hands. and letting our lawyer do the talking. But according to the courts, trying to ruin my name and trying to bring harm to my family in a book filled with lies equals $8.8 million. And this is just the beginning, because anyone and everyone that helped promote these lies will hear from my lawyer in the days to come. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. That from my voicemail is the voice of a liar.
So what y'all often hear is a voicemail. Excuse me. What y'all about to hear is a voicemail of a liar, quoted by Brad McKnight. So check this out, Cows Gang. Check this out.
Do not text Nico again. Do not call Nico again. Leilani, if you are also checking these messages, that goes for you as well. I am very serious about this. I am very serious about this. Do not text him, period. Period. Please understand that. And Brian, you know me. You know me. And you know that I mean what I'm saying to you.
Did y'all hear what his baby mama Ted's ex-wife just said? Now, mind you just saw the video from last year. And you just heard what she said. I'm gonna play it again. Because this came from her. And I want y'all to hear it again, Cows Gang. This is the voice of his ex-wife. This ain't from somebody else, ain't from Joe Blow. And it coincide with the video from last year. So I assume he saved that voicemail to put it out today. And even in the last video you saw, when he said he tried to help his son, all the lies and stain and shit like that. And that voicemail coincides with what he said. Maybe when he heard all that shit, maybe when she said, yeah, you know me, I guess she bust them dope moves. And maybe that's why he said, fuck it, and washed his hands. I want y'all to see it again. Also, I want y'all to see him jump and celebrate that he won at $8.8 million. That was funny. He running around jumping up and down, everything, celebrate that he won. But I want y'all to hear it again. You can't make this show. She did not give a fuck about her son's life. And I'm sure she had insurance on him. Yes, of course. What parent don't? Well, most baby mom parents don't have insurance on their kids. But this one, I guess she was smart with this one. Here we go.
Do not text Nico again. Do not call Nico again. Leilani, if you are also checking these messages, that goes for you as well. It's
been a long journey.
I'm sorry, Cows Gang. I got to do it. I was trying to make it bigger. Because I wanted y'all to see how high this man is jumping. Forgive me, Cows Gang. Don't be mad. I'm finna go back to it.
A long journey getting to this day.
I'm gonna go back to him, let y'all see it one more time, because he jumped up, clicking his heels and everything, celebrating. But I want y'all to hear it from the baby mama Ted's mouth one more time. But I'm just saying, you can't make this shit up. This is 2020. This is 2025, and he's exposed. He exposed the baby mama Ted's. You know what I'm saying? Being a liar and everything else. She said she never called. She said that this was lies. She didn't interfere. She said it had nothing to do with it. She ain't interfering. He didn't show up because he's a deadbeat. So I'm going to play it right now. I'm going to play it right now.
A voicemail is the voice of a liar.
Do not text Nico again. Do not call Nico again. Leilani, if you are also checking these messages, that goes for you as well. I am very serious about this. I am very serious about this. Do not text him, period. Period. Please understand that. And Brian, you know me. You know me. And you know that I mean what I'm saying to you.
It's been a long journey getting to this.
So I want y'all to understand, y'all heard it twice. And if y'all want to hear it over and over again so y'all can put it out there and spread the truth, go on his page. And yeah, Kevin said it, and he gave her what he asked for. So, I mean, I understand why he did it, but by his son being grown, I would have said, nah, I would have just, you know what I'm saying, hollered at him and let him tell me, nah. See, but he's the bad guy. He's the low life. He's the no good. And he's wrong for celebrating that he wanted $8.8 million. She said she didn't interfere with that. He chose to do it on his own. But she threatened, basically indirectly threatened, because Brian, you know me, told his wife, hey, you Leilani, if you got his phone, you better not contact him either. Bang, she 50-something years old. Baby mama terrorists don't go away because they're older. Baby mama terrorists are who they are to the day they die. So while I was on YouTube talking about Brian McKnight, they said, and I'm gonna go back to it, then I'm gonna get on the couch. His son responds to Brian McKnight's $8.8 million. His son, Brian Jr. Let's see what he got to say. Because I know he like, why you do my mama like that? How dare you do my mama like that? I just saw it. I didn't know he responded, but yeah. Let's see what he got to say. So, and here's the thing, Couch Gang. Y'all heard it. Y'all saw it for yourselves. We went to the past, to present, because I want y'all to understand what's really going on and what's the truth. Now, I told y'all, majority of these motherfuckers ain't going to try to hear it. They don't care if he tell the truth or not. They're about supporting baby mama terrorists. Civil forces and baby mama terrorist supporters is going to ride or die with them. You know what I'm saying? But let me see. I found McKnight says, and shout out to McKnight. I always use his shit and he never flagged me. Shout out to him. He says that Brian McKnight Jr. is heated after Brian celebrated winning the $8 million lawsuit against his ex-wife, Julie. And I want to see. I never watched this. Watch it with me. Let's see what they're talking about. Let's see what story they got. Let's see what they got. But yeah. No, age don't stop a baby mama terrorist. The baby mama terrorist who they is to the day they die. A baby mama terrorist never got to change. So let's see. I'm gonna fast forward some of this shit because some of this shit it ain't related to what we talking about. We want to talk about what the son got to say, how he feel about it. Introduction. We don't need to hear about it. We can watch this again.
And McKnight Jr. responds to Dad Brian celebrating his lawsuit over ex-wife Julie.
It's been a long journey getting to this day, October.
But before we do that, I got to give a shout out to So On for the $50 donation. I definitely appreciated my brother. And y'all already know when it comes to $50 and up, it's a Christmas Eve moment. And I know why Brian McKnight ain't do no Christmas Eve, because he the one got a lot to lose, not the baby mama terrorist. She don't have nothing. So of course he's not gonna do the Christmas Eve. He's gonna live his life and make them want to do Christmas Eve. So appreciate you, my brother. Here we go.
Christmas Eve, and they're calling my lawyer for 2 payments, telling him there's a warrant going out for his arrest. Where does he live? I got a fucking apartment in the post office box because I don't want people bothering me anymore.
Yeah, shout out to Clifford Burns. Shout out to Song. Appreciate you, my brother. And y'all Couch Gang, it's not too late. Please donate. I told you I got errands at Renter Center I got to pay for to keep my couch and shit from getting repossessed. So let's continue.
16th, 2025, but we are here.
We already saw this part. We don't need to watch that part. Oh, notice. I will
from my voicemail is the voice.
Notice, now here's the thing, and this is what I'm talking about. Shout out to 9 Mag TV, because they be calling out a lot of shit. They put out a lot of shit. They did not play the voicemail. Watch this.
Of a liar.
See, he didn't play the voicemail. So a lot of people who watch this ain't gonna know about a voicemail. See, play the whole thing, because the truth need to come out, whether if it's gonna affect Brian McKnight or it's gonna affect Julie. Be about the truth, if that's what you're really about. I'm not saying this 9 Mag is not about the truth, but I do find it mighty funny that you didn't play that voicemail. This is his son, well, estranged son, Brian McKnight Jr., Let's see what he got to say, because I never heard this my first time, but that's very interesting. Let's see what he got to say.
I've tried, man. I've tried really, really hard to not touch on shit, to let it go, to be the bigger person, to be mature, to be something. But the shit going on with my dad right now, man. If y'all aren't seeing what's happening, if y'all aren't seeing the fact that this is just a very hurt and a very emotionally unavailable and not intelligent person, the person that is still have not been able to handle the death of his own mother, the things that we're seeing him go through right now, to decide to make certain posts on my late brother's birthday. Say what you want, dog, but the gloves are off for me, just to keep it real. And the thing about it is, it's like, I get it, man.
Now, before I continue, you heard what he said. He posted on his late brother's birthday, and he said, now, mind you, he said the gloves are off. 2025, he said the gloves are off. But Couch Gang, for those who've been watching me and watch these videos, I talked about Brian McKnight from beginning to now. Haven't the gloves been off when it came to his motherfucking grown-ass kids? Huh? Haven't the gloves been off over 6 years ago when they first came out and said he was a deadbeat and they was 30 years old and 27 years old at the time? When the gloves off when they say he was a deadbeat and never did nothing and looked out for the other kids and not them?
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
But y'all heard today, the gloves are off. The gloves are off now. But the gloves went off and all that shit you was doing to stain your father's name. Okay, but let's continue. He say gloves off.
The thing about it is, it's like, I get it, man. Our parents, they're humans too. They've gone through things too. Whatever the grievances they have against each other, whatever. My issue is, though, man, you don't want me to start talking about the things that I had to deal with in my childhood, the things that I will take to my grave, the things that my brother took to his grave, that we could put out there, the things that we could say as a son, as a teenager, as a 15-year-old that my brother was when we started touring, the things that we went through together, the things that we actually saw, the things that we actually lived with and dealt with because our dad wasn't emotionally intelligent enough nor mature enough to actually be a father.
Bruh, listen. Let me explain something to y'all, Couch Gang. I'm gonna finish, let him do his speak his piece. But now he got all these different things he could put out to hurt him and all that. Let's be real, Couch Gang. Brian McKnight ain't gonna be no more destroyed, sabotaged than he already is. Once you label him a deadbeat, don't want to be a father, and you seeing Brian McKnight say, you know what, I wash my hands, I'm done, I'm moving on with my life, I'm not claiming them no more, I'm gonna change my last name so my junior don't have my last name and my new junior last name. He lost shows, he lost money, he was staying turmoil and everything else. I don't think you can hurt him any more than what y'all already did. The damage is done. It can't get no more worse than that unless you call him a pedophile. Remember I told y'all, Couch Gang, a deadbeat is right here, pedophile is right here, right next, right on top. So unless he come out and say that he was a pedo, then you can't do nothing no more than what you already have. So anything that you say, it ain't gonna do nothing. He reminds me of somebody, and he kind of looked like this somebody that lied about being beat up by MAGA people with a rope around his neck. That's what he sounds like now. He actually looked like him now. He's reminding me of a Smollett. That's what he reminded me of. But Let's see if he's gonna come out and say that maybe he did some PDO type shit, because that's the only thing that could make this worse than what everything else that happened. I'm just saying.
You don't want, and without even getting too deep, man, it's like to do it on my brother's late birthday, my baby brother's heavenly birthday, his first heavenly birthday. This is the post you decide to make? That's not petty? You don't think people are going to realize that that's ridiculous and that it's obviously strategic? Who are you trying to hurt if it's not me and my mother and our family? Who are you trying to hurt? Who are you trying to hurt, man? Which has always been my issue. Which is why way back when that started all this, I made the post that I made, because I knew that this was the only thing that would get you, man. Maybe that was my fault. I've taken accountability for it.
Now you heard what he said. You heard what he said. He put the video out back in the day. We talking about years ago when all this shit started. He put it out there. He just admitted that he caused this shit. He actually indirectly said he admitted he made things worse than they had to be. I'm gonna play that again. See, you trying to play victim, but you caused this shit. You are the volunteer. You're not a victim. You are a volunteer. I'm about to put this on victim and volunteer. Let's see that again. Started years ago. He did it on purpose and looked like he fucked up. But then you still trying to play victim because your father's celebrating, exposing your mama being a liar that she is in her book.
Which is why way back when that started all this, I made the post that I made, because I knew that this was the only thing that would get you, man. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was my fault. I've taken accountability for it.
No, you didn't. Because if you took accountability, this shit still wouldn't be going on. You still wouldn't be mentioning his name about being deadbeats and no accountability. You won't be sitting back trying to play the role like your mom ain't did nothing. You won't be running around talking about you ain't did nothing. So nah. You want to do a tit for tat, because this is the only attention you're going to get, because he don't mention y'all niggas' names. He only mentions y'all name when y'all, put them out there and they go viral, then he have to, call it out. But let's continue.
That I made because I knew that this was the only thing that would get you, man. Maybe that was my fault. I've taken accountability for it.
No, you didn't.
But it's become obviously clear, and maybe not even just me, and I'm hoping to the masses that we're dealing with someone that has unchecked trauma that they're not dealing with. And to everybody else, man, use us as an example for the fact that it's like, don't believe everything you see in the media either. There are multiple sides of a story. There are multiple sides of it. You know what I mean? Because you love this nigga's music, because you think you know this motherfucker, you don't. I do. My mama does. My dead bro, God rest his fucking soul, knows him.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Who you gonna believe, man? This shit's stupid. It's petty. I hate it. I hate talking about it. I hate being a part of it.
Now he's stupid. Now it's stupid, now it's petty, and he don't like talking about it. But you created this whole fucking disaster. Come on, man. You can't play victim now. Let's continue.
It's such a shame. We watched the Jonas Brothers and their families touring the world together. Should have been us. The problem was, my dad didn't want to do it. He just wanted to fuck bitches. So in closing.
So he basically saying while he was on tour with him, Brian McKnight was fucking bitches. Okay. Y'all grown going on tour with him and he's fucking bitches. So you trying to stain his name that while y'all was on tour, he was fucking bitches. Ain't that what most of these entertainers do? R. Kelly and Case and, Boys to Men. I'm just saying that you is mad because he's fucking women while y'all on tour. Okay. Yeah, this dude right here, and if that's what you want to use to hurt him, then go right ahead. He ain't the first and won't be the last.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Boy, this dude his wrist is broken. His wrist is broken to the max, but let's continue.
Man, just to keep it real. This isn't the last time I'm going to talk about this, because I've realized that maybe it's time for me to start talking about this kind of stuff. Maybe it's time for me to start not airing shit out, but being vulnerable enough and open enough as someone that has lived an insane life. I'm gonna start talking about these things, man. It's unfortunate that we're going through this with my father. It's unfortunate that y'all are watching my father and my mother duke it out publicly. But what I can assure you is, though, the truth will be revealed. You'll feel it. You'll know it to be true.
The truth has been called out 6 years ago when he responded to your dumbass comment. You and your sister, man. It's been exposed. But the fact of the matter is, everybody is team baby mama terrorism, team hand broke wrist, and team negativity, and therefore false allegations. So stop it.
If you actually have a heart, if you actually have a soul, and you at the very least try, you'll see the truth.
You know, bruh, listen, I see why Brian McKnight washed his hands and cut him off the wrist, changed his name to go with his new son. I see why. Now he want to play victim. He just admitted to the world that, yeah, I'm the one to put it out there. And yeah, maybe I shouldn't have did it. But people on Instagram, on Brian page, saying he's wrong. And then you try to use that, it's his dead son's day. Maybe he did do that on purpose, as far as put it out there on his deceased son's heavenly birthday. I'm not going to deny that. But he put out the truth. He put out the truth. And y'all already know, truth is what it is. You might don't like how he put it out there or the day he put it out there. But what it would have really made a difference if he did it the day after, the day before. Y'all would have made up some bullshit on why he did it that day. Let's stop the bullshit.
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you?
And you know what? You know what? You know what? Let me go back to Brian Jr. And Cal's gang, the reason why I'm talking about this, because I want y'all to understand that Brian McKnight told the truth from day one, 6 years ago, all the way to now. And unfortunately, society is going to ride with the baby mama tears, and they're going to ride with the bitch ass son. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. You know, that's the unfortunate part. The sad part about it is, regardless of what you put out there, they're gonna believe what they want to believe. But I tell y'all, call out the bullshit. Even if the majority is not gonna side with you, you call the shit out. And again, I told y'all a long time ago, the majority of society, when it comes to you being a deadbeat father and all that shit, they're not gonna side with you. But what I decided to do, now that I thought about it, is to leave this nigga on here. Yeah, he's a simping forcer, son, husband, broke wrist motherfucker. Yeah, that's exactly what he is. I decided to put him up here. I'm gonna leave him here because it's about the wife, the ex-wife, who won't get rid of the McKnight last name, who never got remarried and nothing like that. You know, the reason why I'm gonna leave this up here, because he is the reason why, or one of the reasons why, we are here today when it comes to Brian McKnight and his whole situation. And even again, y'all heard it. Maybe he said, "Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have put it out there." But he said he took accountability for it. No, he didn't. Because not one time did he apologize. Not one time did he said, "Hey, Dad, I fucked up." With everything that Brian McKnight said he had did, he continued to say he wasn't there. He wasn't the father. He wasn't shit. It seems to me he's more mad that he was not still going on tour with Brian McKnight. That should be him on tour, not him and his wife. Because you already said we should be on tour and all that shit. You didn't want that. You didn't even want to get your own crib and pay your own rent. You want to smoke weed instead of get you a job at the hospital and get your education and shit. That's why I say, man, please understand, for those who got a brain, those who are about what's right and what's the truth, not about depending on who it is. This dude is the reason. Well, the baby mama terrace is the number one reason why things are here today. But this is the number two reason why we are also here today. So everybody's up in here. Please do me a favor. Please, before you go, like button. And if you're new, subscribe. Also, subscribe to the new channel, Victim of Volunteer. I'm putting this on Victim of Volunteer. Also, please keep your veins on ice cold. Call out the baby mama test. Don't let nobody just call you out knowing you didn't do this and you got proof. Even if the majority is going to say you wrong, you shouldn't have did it that way. And don't never, ever regret cutting a motherfucker off. Never. So everybody here, please put the boot emojis in this motherfucker, because we're going to boot this motherfucker out of our lives. The baby mama Ted's already been booted. She already booted. But boot this motherfucker, this Smollett, out of our life. This is another Jesse Smollett. You know what I'm saying? Another. And when it comes to people like this,
Cut that bitch off.
That's what we got to do. Cut that bitch off. So with that being said, man, I most likely will be live tomorrow. I'm just not sure what time. It will be probably in the evening, about 4 or 5 o'clock. But for anybody want to still believe what these motherfuckers say, even though I showed y'all the video from 6 years ago all the way to the next one, then we already know where you stand. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. Fuck these motherfuckers. Peace. Look, you ain't paid my motherfucking rent in 9 months. Hell no, I don't want no motherfucking sex. I'm Mr. Palmer, bitch. I don't do that sucker shit. Better have my motherfucking money. Okay, yeah. What I don't understand, how you be so strong and be so independent and be a bum. Bitch. You got help from Gummy Daddy. Can you get the BB on? Yeah, you have to pay shit. So you need to get gone. You haven't paid your fucking rent for a whole 9 damn months. Hell no. Gas my crib all smelly and nasty from trash and blood. Oh, hell no. Fuck this. Get the fuck out. Fuck you being homeless. And at least want it. Been doing it, bitch, you know this. So yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Your ass in the big. Your ass